Hey, thank you everybody for being here. I'm Tom Reiner. I'm the Regional Director for Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, and we're here to celebrate the 2023 Florida Python Challenge results and awards. So this is an exciting day. This is an event that we've done for a few years. Actually, this is the 10th anniversary of the very first one, and so we're excited to have some very special guests here to celebrate and honor this with us. I'm going to call out a few VIPs. We do have the mayor. Thank you, Mayor Lamar Fisher from Broward County. Provided this beautiful space and these beautiful grounds. I encourage you all to check out the grounds while you're here. Drew Bartlett, Executive Director of the South Florida Water Management District, also our partner in this endeavor. Rolf Olson from U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is here. Thank you, sir, for being here. And we have Major Bell, the new major for the area for us, the Army Corps of Engineers. So thank you for being here. And Jen Smith, Deputy Director, our Chief of Staff at South Florida. So thank you all for being here. We've got some other VIPs here. I do want to recognize Vice Chairman Steve Hudson of the FWC and Diamond in Broward County. Yep, Diamond Bergeron of the Bergeron Foundation and Alligator Ron Bergeron. But last but not least, our esteemed Chairman Rodney Barreto, Chairman of the FWC.
Good morning, everybody. Drew, thank you for being such a great partner. The district has been very helpful, and we work and collaborate very well together. So thank you for being here this morning. With that, I want to just tell you that Governor Ron DeSantis has been him and his administration have been a huge supporter of the program. When I met with him early on and asked him to put up a bounty, he said, how much, when, let me know, I'm involved, I'm engaged, I want to help. He realizes that replumbing the Everglades and all the money we're spending, if we don't eradicate this python, there would be no indigenous animals left in the Everglades. So that's the effort, and that's why we're all here today. And I'm very, very proud to have a dear friend of mine from Miami-Dade County, our first Hispanic Latin Lieutenant Governor of Florida, my dear friend from Miami-Dade, Janet Nunez. Come on up, Janet.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to be here in beautiful Long Key Nature Center in Broward County. I want to thank all of those that are here welcoming us, and it is indeed a great day that we get to announce this year's winners. So I'm pleased to be joined, of course, by Rodney Barreto, the chair of the FWC, as well as Ron Bergeron, who I understand is celebrating a big birthday today. We won't ask you how old, but happy birthday, sir. Dr. Tom Rennert, and of course, so many others that are partners with us in making sure that we can preserve this pristine environment that we have here in the beautiful state of Florida. 5 years ago, when Governor Ron DeSantis and I got elected, we made a promise to make sure that we would prioritize conservation and that we would leave this earth in a better place than where we found it. And I would say that we have absolutely delivered on that promise. In 2019, when we first came into office, Governor DeSantis called for $2.5 billion to be invested over the course of our first term, those 4 years. And what I'm proud to say is that we not only met that promise, we exceeded it. And together, working with the legislature, we secured over $3.3 billion. And if that wasn't enough, Governor DeSantis earlier this year called for another $3.5 billion over the next 4 years of our second term. And so that's a really exciting announcement, and I think that just shows the commitment, not only to conserving the environment, but specifically for Everglades restoration and protection of water resources. We're well on our way to meeting that goal. This year in our Framework for Freedom budget, we dedicated more than $1.6 billion, with more than $695 million specifically for Everglades restoration projects. And so through that historic funding and through strategic action, we are going to protect Florida's natural resources for future generations. And I know all of you that are here share in that goal, and I'm really excited to be part of an administration that is so forward-thinking and leans in on this issue. As we all know, the Florida Everglades is an invaluable ecosystem that contains an abundance of habitats and is home to many of Florida's landmark species, such as the Florida panther, our gators, wading birds, and so many other native species. The Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is committed to working with our partners to preserve this natural resource and its native species. And for this reason, under the leadership of Governor DeSantis, FWC continues to focus on the management of invasive species here and throughout the state. We're all here because of the announcement of the Burmese Python Challenge. We know that it's an invasive species that has wreaked havoc on our Everglades, and it is a threat to our ecosystem and to native wildlife. They prey on native species, they compete with native wildlife for food and habitat, and they can also spread non-native diseases and parasites, which is why FWC, South Florida Water Management District, and partners through and through have been working cooperatively to manage and to control Burmese pythons and other invasive species throughout our ecosystem. So I want to thank everyone that's participated and competed in the 2023 Florida Python Challenge for participating in Florida's Everglades restoration efforts. They're extremely important, and we applaud those that participated and that came from near and far. This year's Florida Python Challenge began Friday, August 4th and ran through Sunday, August 13th. And throughout those 10 days, both professional and novice participants were invited to compete and remove pythons. Last year, over 230 pythons were removed from the Everglades, and almost 1,000 individuals participated from 32 states. So I'm proud that over the past 5 years, we have been able to remove more than 11,000 pythons, and I can tell you that that goal is just a small fraction of what we need to keep on doing. So as our administration continues to show commitment to this issue and to so many other issues pertaining to our environment, protecting the Everglades is a priority, and we'll continue to focus on that both with policy and budget, working with our partners that are here with us today. So I'm excited to learn who this year's winners are. I know those of you that are in the audience are excited to learn who's going to get that grand prize. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to highlight something that's really important to our administration.
Thank you, Governor Lieutenant Nunez. We really appreciate your support and the administration's unwavering support of FWC's and their efforts. Our next speaker is a dear, dear friend. We actually served together for 10 years, Alligator Ron Bergeron. Alligator Ron is on the governing board of the South Florida Water Management District, and he's 80 years old today. Happy birthday, Ron.
Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to Broward County, and it's a great honor to be here today, and I want to introduce my daughter, Diamond Bergeron. She's the vice president of the Bergeron Everglades Foundation, the next generation to save our environment so future generations have a quality of life here in Florida. I would like to thank the Lieutenant Governor Nunez and my commander and always commander, Rodney Beretta from the FWC, my executive director, Drew Bartlett, and Tom Reinhardt, South Florida regional director. And I would like to recognize our mayor, Lamar Fisher, that's here today. Thank you, Mayor, for keeping Broward County with a quality of life into the future. And also Dan West, which is over all the parks here. I work a lot with Dan. And Dan, you've done a fabulous job, and it's been an honor for me to work with you to keep Broward County with a quality of life for future generations. I want to thank our governor. Under his leadership, it just amazes me, and you know, my career has been a long career. I've been with nearly every governor since about 1972. And I will say his leadership and his vision across the state of Florida, and Everglades restoration, the largest environmental restoration in the history of the world, is going on. So important to future generations. Because the journey of water is the life of Florida, from sawgrass to seagrass. And it's the most important resource on the planet. So it's all about we together as we move forward to make sure Florida has a quality of life for all of us. You know, I go back 10 years ago, and the Python Challenge under the leadership of Rodney Beretta was quite a step for the FWC. And I remember going to the first press conference, and when I pulled in there, I thought World War III had struck while I was driving there. There was press from all over the world. I remember 9 countries from Europe. And we had the first python hunt under the leadership of the FWC. And then in about 2017, South Florida Water Management, sister agency of the state, stepped into this arena. And today, we have removed just under 20,000 pythons. And just think, they can have 100 eggs a year. And when you calculate that, this snake becomes top of the food chain. 20 feet long, weighing up to 200 pounds, and can destroy the natural food chain. And can you imagine an Everglades with no wildlife? You wouldn't have a healthy environment without a healthy food chain. So I want to thank South Florida Water Management, the FWC, and I want to thank all of the stakeholders, and I want to thank all of the hunters that have dedicated themselves to removing this invasive snake out of our environment, because it's all about we together to continue. And I remember when we got in airboats and we had all the gladesmen and 17 airboats and Rodney Beretta and myself, and Rodney says, well, where are we going out there? I said, I don't really know. But I did pick out an island. We were in high water, which is refuge for fur-bearing animals in the Everglades, and that's what the snake eats. And fortunately, if you remember, Rodney, as we went into this island they called Deer Islands, really are Indian mounds built 10,000 years ago by the Glades One Indians, there was a 14-foot python that started this a decade ago. So thanks to all of you. It's all about we together. I look forward into the future that we remove this invasive snake out of our environment, and we have a quality of life for future generations, and long live the Everglades. Thank you.
Thank you, Alligator Ron. Yeah, always inspiring. Thank you. We appreciate that. So I'm going to give a little background on the Python Challenge, why we're all here. The intent of the Python Challenge is not to solve the Python issue. We're not going to collect pythons our way out of this. But it is one of the tools in the toolbox, and it is a fantastic vehicle for bringing continued awareness to invasive species in general. And we've got a display in the back with some examples of that. So it's a great vehicle for that. As he mentioned, there was news from around the world, and it still gets worldwide attention when we do this. So, and I want to thank the governor for really ramping up his efforts there, and said we're going to do this annually instead of every 3 years or so. So that's a challenge to us, and we're happy to accept it and continue this program to bring awareness to invasive species in the Everglades and in general, but to the Everglades in particular. And let's see. A total of 209 invasive pythons were removed from the Everglades system by participants this year. Not a record, but right at the top there, which is amazing. We had over 1,000 registrants. Think about that. People from a variety of states and even Belgium came down here to Broward County and spent their money here and spent their time and started looking for pythons and removed over 200 pythons. That's just amazing. So that is going to gather some news and bring attention to this issue. And it wouldn't be possible without sponsorship, too. I want to thank the Fish and Wildlife Foundation of Florida, a major sponsor of this and organizer of this. I want to thank the Bergeron Everglades Foundation for sponsoring our runner-up prize. I need to thank Edison National Bank, Bank of the Islands. These are a repeat sponsor. They're amazing. They sponsor our military prizes, and we have a set of prizes just for military, active duty, and veteran military. So we want to honor them and thank them, and they get their own particular category of prizes, and we thank Edison National Bank for doing that. Dakota Matting also is a sponsor. But I do really want to thank our $10,000 big prize sponsor, Inversa Leathers, and we have them here today a great partnership is developing there, and it's a fantastic company. I encourage you to check them out. So more on them from them later. And I think we're going to go ahead and go right to the prize categories. Okay, so Jan's nodding her head. I've got the chairman here. He's got the list, and we'll go ahead and get started. And so what we'll do is ask the winner, when you're announced, to please come up. We'll take a photo, and then we'll move on to the next.
Okay. On the first prize for the novice hunter, Amy Siwi. Amy, where's Amy? So, just so by way of background, Amy is a retired real estate agent who decided that she wanted to hunt pythons. It's a great story. So, and now we have the first place longest python by a professional, Tom Rahill. Tom? First place, longest python by a military, Jeff Lintz. First place, most pythons by a novice. Runner-up, Michael Clem. Professional, right? Up. First place, most pythons by a novice, Bob Blank. Bob is not here. Accepting an award for Bob will be, I'm just kidding. Runner-up, most pythons by professional, Richard Chattertrabone. How's that, Rich? Close enough? First place, most pythons by a professional, Quentin Archie. Runner-up, most pythons by military, Tom Aycock. First place, most pythons military, Justin Morgan. Okay. So our next award is going to be a grand prize runner-up. It's a $7,500 cash check from the Bergeron Foundation. Thank you, Diamond Bergeron. Ronnie Bergeron. Happy birthday again, Ronnie. Diamond, we need you up here for this one. And the runner-up is Roger Keeger.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You do that.
Yeah. So now for the big prize, I'm going to have Arav Char to come up. He's the one of the founders of Inversa Leathers, and thank you. And I'm gonna ask Arav to say a few words, tell us about his company a little bit, and what it means to sponsor this. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. And 10 years. 10 years is big. So it's an honor for Inversa to be a part of this on such a historic day. Want to thank FWC, Chairman Barretto, of course the administration, Tom, everyone who put this on, South Florida Water Management District, and most importantly, the hunters. Inversa was really founded as a way to facilitate hunting, right? Hunting of invasive species. It's hard work, it's difficult, and we want to make it happen at a bigger and better scale. So excited that Florida is so forward about thinking about invasive species. Thank you. And we're really excited about this challenge. So thank you so much.
So he's been a little modest. So Inversa, so you know, is important to understand. They basically take the end product and make stuff out of it. So in my case, this is a Python wallet. So they've done an incredible job making products out of lionfish, iguana. What are the other products? Python and Asian carp. So you ought to see their products. It's amazing. So we're actually getting the attention of the industry now that there's something more than, let's say, the skin itself, the meat, and we can do something with the end product. So we're getting ready to cut some new ground, hopefully, and it's exciting. So with that, it's my honor to present the ultimate grand prize winner. Drum roll, please. Is Paul Hobbs.
So a little history. Our winner Paul came down for the first Python Challenge with his dad, and now he's been here several times doing the Python Challenge and hunting pythons, and he's brought his son into it now. So we got 3 generations of python hunters here, and yeah. And his dad Tom was an award winner in 2021. So yeah, let the generations keep coming and keep getting pythons out of the environment. It's a great story here. Love to see it. So yeah, let's get some pictures. So if we could have all the award winners come up, we'll do a real big group photo of all the winners. I think that'd be really, really great. So come on up and we'll do a big photo.
Just say a couple things when closing. We're done. On behalf of the Fish and Wildlife Agency, I want to again thank Mayor Fisher for hosting us here in Broward County. Broward County knows how to do it. Thank you, sir. And more importantly as well, our governor, Lieutenant Governor Nunez. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. You're a big supporter.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. And you know, Alligator Ron Bergeron doesn't do anything small. It's always big. And we have cake for everybody. Thank you, Diamond, for bringing enough cake for everybody. So thank you all for being here. And please join us and celebrate Alligator Ron's birthday with a piece of cake. Thank you.